Welcome to MountBlue Prep. So MountBlue Prep is a proprietary track of MountBlue which help you in improving your programming skills and problem solving skills, wherein it will be easy for you to solve the HackerRank challenge of MountBlue, or you can score 2600 points in HackerRank and get into MountBlue. So these beginner level sessions will help you in this process. So as part of this, in today's session, I'll be taking up the concept of arrays in JavaScript, and some of the problems also will be covered which related to arrays. Let me share my screen. So when we talk about an array, what is an array is whenever you want to organize a set of elements, a group of elements, collection of elements, list of elements, or multiple elements to be organized in any programming language. So for that, we use an array. So array elements that we want to organize are referred with a common name. Yeah. So in like C++ or other programming language, C language, if you take the array elements must be of the same type, but in JavaScript they can be of same or different type. So an array is collection of one or more elements that are referred with a common name that are related to a single entity. Good. So how do we declare an array in JavaScript? So you can use let or var and declare that one. So let so this is our array is equals to, this is a blank array. So just in the subscript you are giving, this indicates that it's an array, an empty array. Now, guys, can you see my screen, everyone? Just text me in the chat. Can you see my screen? Okay, thank you, Rahul. Good. So this is one way you can just create an empty array. Can create an array with the values initialized, separated by comma. Like this is the first value that we are going to have in our array: red, then green, then blue. This is another way you can create an array by initializing the values to an array. Yeah, I have just said that in the beginning. Like suppose I have an array student details is equals to, you're storing values here 1001, like the name, then you have marks or percentage of mark 89.99. So in this case also it is an array with what different values. Good. So you can have any type of value. I'm taking a Boolean value as well here. This is one way of creating an array, or you can use the array object also and create. Okay, AR is equals to new array. Then you can give the values or how many elements you want to organize. That size you can specify in an array. You can just see here console.log and array. You can check it out. It's taking time to load. So that would display the elements in an array. Generally, like this would create an array using an array object. So in JavaScript, you have an array. A is capital here. Look at this one. This is an array object of how many values you are going to have is 5. And those values are what? Undefined. it's saying too much. Yeah. Let me refresh this, guys. One, it's not working. Yeah, it's working now. Now in this case, you can see AR is an array based on array object where 5 empty values are there. You can see here. You can see here like you are having 5 empty items. Now, as you know, like in array, when we are having elements, we can organize those elements by using a common name. So how we are going to access the elements in an array? Like almost all the programming languages have that index based representation is zero based index representation. If you look at this array elements, like these are different ways and you can declare an array. Let's look at this one. Now the first element is red in this array colors, isn't it? And it is at the index of what? 0. Next element is at the index of what? 1. Next one element is at the index of 0. So if you want to access all the elements in an array, like let's see a console.log colors of 0 would give you the element at the index of 0. So this is how you can access the elements in an array by its index position. The index starts from 0 and goes up to one element less than the size of the array. In this case, the size of the array is 3. So you'll be getting what? Array of colors of 2 would give you what? The element at the index of 2, that is blue. Now you can also use the for loop to access the elements. Like in this case, for let I is equals to 0. So you are having the index starting from 0. So how many elements are there? You must traverse all the elements from the beginning to the last element. So we have a length property in the array that will give you the length of the array. Console.log name of the array, colors of I. Good. You can see here we have traversed where access all the elements in an array by its index. Any programming language that you use has the same concept of what index based representation. JavaScript also has this one. So like length will give you the size of the array, how many elements are there in that one. So I less than that one. In this case, we should iterate up to what? I value should go up to 2. So I less than 2, then I plus 1. In every iteration, you are increasing it by 1. So this is how you can iterate. This is one way. This is another way. Directly you can get what? Element. No. So element would give you what? Access to the element directly. There is no need of giving the index here. So first element is what? Red. So from the array colors, red will be read into this one. It will be displayed. So it will iterate through the array from first element to the last element. Using what? For of. So you're giving each element of the name of the array. So this would traverse all the elements one by one and would display the elements in an array, or whatever operation you want you can do in an array. Fine. So let's do a simple example. Like if you want to find the let is a very, how you are going to declare an array is using let or var. So let array is equals to, you are giving the list of values 10, 20, 30, 4, 7, 5. So from this array I want to display. So what you want to display? Display the even numbers in an array. So how would you do that one? So you want to access each element and check, isn't it? So you can traverse it for, isn't it? So I let is the keyword that you use to create a variable. I index is 0, then I less than array dot length. So as we traverse, we have to perform many operations, isn't it? So you could be using this concept. So what we have to do, if that element that is there in the array, isn't it, even numbers. So how do you check that one? Array of I, isn't it? So mod, what we need to give here, 2 is equals to 0. Then we would display that one, console.log array of I. So we will be displaying, before displaying we are checking if it is even. If it is even, then it is displayed, otherwise just we are going to leave it out, isn't it? So you are accessing the element, first of all 10 mod 2 is equals to true, that is true, condition is true, so you are displaying that element like this. So what is the core concept of taking this example is that once you are able to take the element in an array, you can do anything, you can perform any operations on that one. You can use for comparison, like in problem solving, most of the time you are given a list of values, collection of elements, then you need to process that one. So this is how you can take the element, like it's a simple example that shows you how you are using this for finding even number. Yeah, if it is an odd numbers, then you can just simply change the logic, is not equals to, so not equals to 0, then you're getting the odd numbers. Good. So this simple example that shows you how you are processing the elements in an array. Like suppose you are given a list of marks, example, another example we'll take. Given a list of marks or array of marks. So what we have to find is, we have to find the score, how many students got between 300 to 400, and how many got 400 to 500, and how many got the marks between 500 to 600. So basically we'll be given an array of marks. These are total marks of the students, let us take. So what you are required to do here, so what is the problem here? Like in an array, you have to find those marks. How many students got the marks between 300 to 400? How many got between 400 to 500? How many got between 500 to 600? Just what is the logic we'll be writing? Just text me in the chat, everyone. Simple concept. Just try it out. Everyone, I want everyone to just text me in the chat. So what will be the logic here? S for I. Good. So let I is equals to 0. Then I less than what? Marks dot length. I plus plus. Can you hear me, everyone? Are you there? Like, what would be the logic here? Just text me in the chat. Simple logic. Like, what are the marks between? How many students got the marks between 300 to 400? How many got between 400 to 500? And how many got between 500 to 600? Yeah, let's declare the variables. First variable for first criteria is equals to 0. Then second criteria is for what? You can just take between 3 to 4. Variable is 0. Between 4 to 5. Everyone, are you there? Can you hear me? Yes. Good. So Mohan Singh, you're right. Prasad, Dilip Prasad is right. Okay. So just come up with your own logic, no problem. So you have to count. Good. Everyone, just give a try. Between 400 to 500, 0. Then between 500 to 600 is a variable I'm creating here, isn't it? You want to have separately. So we're going to check that one. Good. So what is the logic here? Yeah, marks of I greater than or equals to 300, and logical operator and then marks of I. Good. So less than or equals to. So what you'll be giving here? Less than or equals to what? Or less than 400, not equals to. Let's give you 400. So what you'll be doing here? This condition means between 300 to 400, just we are going to have plus plus. So else if, isn't it? So again you are going to have marks of I greater than or equals to 400 and marks of I, yeah, less than 500, isn't it? So between 4 to 5 we are going to have what? Plus plus. You could be having less than that also. So let's write the condition for that also. Marks of I greater than or equals to 500 and marks of I, yeah, 600 inclusive of that one. So we can just give that one. So we can just increase the variable for that one between 5 6, that is b5 6 is for that variable between that. Now at the end, once you have iterated through the array, just you can display that one, console.log. Okay, you can just display that one. So between, okay, whatever it is, you can just display between 3 4, then between 4 5, then between 5 6. So yeah, fine. You can see a 2 2 2 values are there. Let's increase one. So 2 2 and 3 between 30 to 40, and this we have these values. Good. So that is how you can just use the arrays to manipulate the values in the array, and like in most of the problem solving, you are given some criteria, you have to evaluate that you are going to write within this one. Good. Now my next question is like I want to find out who got the highest marks in this one. So how you are going to get that one? Do we have a function called as max in this one array? Everyone just give it a try, like to find the greatest element or highest element or maximum element in an array. Good. So you can use the for loop. Yeah, good. That way you can use it. Let max is equals to 0. Or you can start from the first element. Yeah. For let value of marks, isn't it? So if value greater than max, isn't it? Here we are not using index, but directly we are getting the value, isn't it? So value greater than max, what are we going to do here? Max is equals to value. This is the logic just which will give you the greatest element in an array. Good. This is one way, guys, like simple logic also I'll just tell you. So this is the core concept how we can access each element and get to the maximum element in an array. Now the simple way that you can do in JavaScript is a simple technique. Like if you're doing for problem solving, then it will help you out. Then there is a function called as max in math. So math object has a function max that takes what list of values. Suppose list of values means 10, 20, 30, 40. So how we are going to go for that one? Console.log. Just check here. This is one concept. Max of 20, 10, 20, 40. It has given you 4. It is taking list of values, but it would not take an array directly. Suppose if you give an array and check what we'll get, let us see here. It is returning not a number. It's not a number array. So how would that be? Let's see that one. So we have a concept called as what destructuring. So we can use three dots and destructure. So destructure an array. So this will just give us what the greatest element in an array. You can see here 569 we got that one. So this single statement can be used to get the greatest element in an array. Good. Now one question, guys, everyone, like you can try. If I want to find a second highest element, how would we get that one? Okay, just try this one. In problem solving, we'll discuss this. This is the question that I'm posting. The second highest element in an array. Good. Yeah, this is how you can just perform the operations with the elements in an array. We have list of operations that can be performed in an array using functions as well. So JavaScript has the support for functions, rich functions. So we'll see that one. We'll declare an array. Array is equals to blank. Then I want to store an element. This is an array declared with the blank, no elements. I want to store elements into this one. So array dot what? Push of 20. The function push will add an element at the end of the array. So you can see our array dot push of 30. You can just console.log and check it out. So you are using the function push and you are getting that one. So 20 and 30. So push element will add the element at the end of the array. So first element you added 20, then 30, 30 is added. Now again, if you give the push here, it will be added immediately after what? 30. Good. Then in the same way, we have the function unshift. The function unshift also is used to add an element to an existing array at the beginning of the array. You can see here the first element 100 has been added as a first element or at the beginning of the array. Then there is a function pop. Pop function will remove the element. You can see here we have added console.log array dot. So you can see here popped element is what here 15. 15 is the element that is popped here. Then once it is popped, you can just check it out. So pop function will remove the last element in an array. In the same way, we have a function here that is what console.log array dot shift. So shift would delete the element at the beginning. You can just check it out once it is deleted at the beginning as well. So once you have deleted the element at the beginning, the array that is having the values what 20 and 30. 100 has been deleted from the beginning of the array. So these are the functions, which are functions using which you can add or remove the elements. Good. Or directly, if you want to change any element at the specific index, you can change it. So array elements are what mutable, so you can just change the element from any position in an array. Yeah, let's check if you want to check if a particular element is there in the array or not. So how we are going to check if a particular element is there in the array or not? For that, we have a function called as include of give the value. Now in this case, array dot includes of 100 has given us what false. Why? Because 100 element is not there in the array, so it has returned what false. Now if that element was existing in the array, like suppose that is give 10, so what we will be getting is true. Is that okay? We are getting what? True. Why? Because this 10 value is existing in the array. So whatever element we have given, if it is there in the array, it will return true. If it is not there, it will return false. Good. So console.log array dot index of. Okay, suppose we are giving 10. So what is the index of that? What is the index of method has written what? 0. So 10 is there at the index of what? 0. Isn't it? Suppose if we give 30, it will return what? Index of what? 30, that is there at this position. If that element is not there that you are searching for, then it is returning what? -1. So when do you get -1 here? If the element is not there in the array, you are getting -1. If it is there, you will get the index position where that element is there in the array. Good. 10 is there at the index of 0. So that way you can use the function what? Index of. Now suppose if we may be having this value at multiple times. Now in this case, this array is having the value 10 multiple times. Then how would we get the index of the? So last index of what? 10. Just check it out here. So it would give the index position where the 10 was found last, isn't it? Not last means not at the end. It could be at any position. So you can see here. It is at the index of what? 6. 10 was found at the index of 6. Now in this case, it is found at the index of what? 4. So index of would return what? The first occurrence of the value, its index position will be written. The last index will return the last occurrence of that value in the array. So that position will be returned here using the last index of. Good. Let's see next function. These are all the functions that are there in the array, so that will be helpful for you to carry out the operations directly. Let's discuss about slicing. This is very important. Don't get confused with slicing and splicing. Slicing is different and splicing is different. So let me address that as well. Now, if you want to extract the subparts of an array based on any criteria or from any index, so that can be done using slicing. Extract subparts from a given array. For that, we use the slice function. See here, console.log, it will return an array. So array dot slice. If I'm giving 0, 3, check here. So I'm going to get the array sliced from which position? 0 to 3, excluding that. So it has gone up towards 0, 1, 2. Got it? So this is the starting index, and this is end index here, not elements here. It is an index here. Suppose if I give here index as 5, you can see 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 4. Now, not compulsory, it should be 0. So suppose if I give 2, what would happen here? It would slice it. It would give a sub array starting from the index 2 up to what? 5. Good. So this is helpful for you if you want to extract subparts or sub arrays from a given array, that is from a given index to the ending index. The index position, not the number of elements. Good. That way you can use the slice function. We'll take up an example using this also. And splice function is used to replace or remove as well from an array. Splice. The splice function is used to replace or change or remove from an array. Like I'll tell you this one, array dot splice of what, the element in the index. This is the index position. At the index what, 0. So do not do anything. So replace it with what, MountBlue. Console.log add. So we got the index. At the index of 2, what I have done, delete no elements, so 0. Do not change or remove any elements and replace it at that place. What we have to insert here, MountBlue. You can see here at the index of 2, you have inserted or placed the value as what, MountBlue. Now this is the specified index. Now at the index of 2, suppose I want to delete one element. From that position, I want to delete one element. Check here. At the index of 2, what you are having, 30. 30 is deleted here, and at that place we have inserted what, MountBlue. Good. You want to insert multiple values also, you can insert. See here. From index position of 2, from index position of 2, we have deleted one element. So what is deleted here? 30 is deleted, and at that place we have inserted how many values? 2 values. You can give multiple values also to be inserted, separated by comma. Now you can delete multiple values also. Suppose from here I want to delete 3 elements. So from the index of 2, it will delete how many elements? 3 elements, and at that place it will insert the new values. These are the values that will be inserted into the array. This is splice. So slice and splice, they look similar in spelling, but there is a difference here. Slice is used to extract the subparts or subarray by specifying the starting index and the end index, whereas splice is used to replace or change. But you can change also. Suppose if you are giving like this, so what would happen? 2 and 1. So at the index of 2, what you are having? 30. So I want to change it with what? 300. So it is just like changing the value, updating the value, isn't it? Now 30 was there, 30 has been replaced with what? 300. It's just like updating the value at that index. This can be done using the function splice. Good. Yeah, let's take one example of using this one. So it will be helpful for you, and we'll just connect with the concept that we have covered just now using this. Yeah, there are many functions also, like I'll try to cover up all those things in today's session as well. Yeah, one request has come in the chat for sort also. I'll tell that sort, fine. Like we are having an array with marks. Let us take this one. Let marks is equals to 200, comma 300, comma 400, comma 300, again 400, comma. Now look at this array of marks. Now we want to find the highest marks. So one query has come, so I'll just use this sort. So maybe in the next session, I'll take up one more session on arrays, maybe tomorrow. So you can attend that. In that advanced functions that are there in the array, that I will take up in tomorrow's session, and some problem solving as well. So what we are required to do here is, in this array, find the maximum, let us say, first thing. So how do we find the maximum? So these are the marks of different students. The student 1 got 200, then second student 200, like this. So who got the highest marks? Let us see. So how do we sort an array here? marks dot sort. This is a simple function directly you can use. So a comma b, then there's an arrow function. Guys, if you do not follow this one sort, I'll just take up this in the tomorrow's session. You can see that one. Oh yeah, so descending order if you want b minus a, just can check it out, console.log sort. Mm-hmm. Sort or max, sorry, this is marks not sort. So we got the elements in the sorted order, 400 400, but how many students got 400 here? 3 students, isn't it? Now my question here is, yeah, this is one way you can just find the greatest element. The question here is how you are going to find how many students got the highest marks. I want to find how many students got the highest marks. How can we get it? Once we have sorted, so what we need to extract is, my concept is that I'm going to, yeah, just you can do many ways. My concept is I want to extract the sub array that is having what, the maximum marks. So we are having the maximum marks at the index of what, 0. So we can take here, just now we have seen here, yeah, where L index is equals to marks array is sorted, so marks dot last index of, so last index of what, marks of 0. So that would give you what, 0 1 2, this will give us 2, isn't it? L index will give us 2. Let's display that as well. So this marks and L index comma last index is that one, isn't it? So what is my logic is, like, I'm going to start from 0 index and take the sub array up to this one. So how will we write this one? So we'll be using splice or split. Just text me in the chat what would be the concept. Yeah, I'll address your concerns in the chat at the end of the session. Good. So my question now is, like, how I am going to extract the array. So how will you write this one? In this case, we have an array here with 400, 400, 400. So how many students got the highest marks I want to count? Yeah, in this case, we know that highest marks is at, when we sort it, we will get that. The highest element at the index of 0. Yes, everyone just give a try here. Just text me in the chat. How will you write the slice function to extract the sub array from here, index 0 to this one, in this example? Quick, fast, guys. Slice 0 to last index of max element. Very good. Mohan Singh, you're right. So last index plus 1. Last index of max element. Okay, max element you mean array here. Okay. Let's try that one. So let our result is equals to, we are getting a sub array in this one. So marks dot, we are going to slice it. Slice of what? We have to start from 0 as it is started. So last index plus 1. Why? Because 2 is there, so including that, so we want plus 1. Let's display the result here. Got it. So we got here, isn't it? So we could slice that one and we got here 0 to this one, last index of. Now last index dot length will give you the value that how many students got what, maximum marks. So there are 3 students who got the maximum marks. So what is that maximum marks? You know it. So you can just result dot length 3 students got plus marks of 0. Yeah, I can see 3 students got 400. So this is a simple example that shows you how you can use the last index. If I use index of, what will happen here? Instead of last index, why did I use last index here? Why? Because 400, at what point the 400 was existing? No. So when we're getting sorted array, no, we got the element like this in the array. 400, comma, 400, comma, 400, isn't it? Like this. Then you had 300, then 300. Yeah, one question for you. Like, you can try it out. 3 students got 400. I want to find how many students got second highest. In this case, second highest is what? Second highest is how much? 300. So how many students got that also I want to know. Good. So try it out, guys. Yeah, you can use this one. Good. So you can use last index of is what? This one plus 1, isn't it? Then last index of this value, you're going to have it. So we have to extract this one substring from that one, and you can just easily get that one. You can use loops also for that one and do it. But if you are using the functions like slice, last index, and all array functions, and it will make your task easy. Fine. So Prasad, your query is also addressed. I think what is sort. I'll just take up this in the next session maybe. How we can use sort and how we can use reduce, map, filter, find. These things we'll just do in the next session. Yeah, Mohan Singh, you are right. Quick to answer that fast. Very good. Fine. Now one simple concept like fine. Like we have worked with the numbers. Good. So this works. I think good. So let's take one simple example of an array of names. Then names is equals to Ravi, then Raj, then Ramesh. Now I want to find those names whose length is more than 5. Whose length is more than 5. So how will you do that one, guys? For let, sorry, I is equals to 0, I less than names dot length, I plus plus. So how will we get the length of that one? So here in this case, you can see the list of elements are what? Strings. The list of elements are what? Strings. Good. So we need to check that one. What if names of I dot length? It's an array. So array is also a collection of property. It has the length property which will give the number of characters. Should be what? More than 5. Then we are going to display that one. Only Ramesh is there. Okay, we'll take some more also. Naveen, in that case, you can see whichever are satisfying this criteria. So what will happen here? First name is there, its length. So what is the length of this one is what? 4. 4 greater than 5, condition is false. Just we can display. Like this one simple example that shows you how you are going to use the strings as well. Good, guys. Yeah, I'll just take up the queries that you have sent me in the chat. So stop the recording and go for that one.